Hey growers, welcome back. It's day 29 of flower in this AC Infinity 5x5 tent. We are underneath the HLG 600R spec, checking out these Lime 1 Hindu crosses from Freeborn Selections. Mr. Mean Gene Jackson, breeder amongst breeders. I am pumped to grow these feminized seeds, guys. It's been a pretty easy run. Everything looks pretty stable. Let's get to another one of these phenos. This girl right here is a little bit different looking from that Lime 1 Hindu pheno. We have a total of 4 of these Lime 1 Hindu plants in this 5x5 tent. And we've got a beautiful peanut butter pie from Raw Genetics we'll check out in a second. But this plant right here, she has more color than any other plant in this tent right now. So she's starting to come around at day 29. Really no smells yet, guys. It's kind of early. We've been defoliating as we go, coming along, just plucking along these loose leaves right here. Starting to see a little bit of signs of heavy feeding right there. You can see the tips. I'll try to fade back a little bit. I'll get to a better shot right up here, especially on this plant. You can see the tips of the leaves pretty burnt up. So we just watered today and we used one of our favorite products, Recharge. Because this is only day 29, we cut this off at about the end or the middle of week 5, guys. But it really helps. We talked a lot about that in our last video, even a little bit late or mid-flower. I usually cut it off by week 5 or 6. And as you can see, we've been having some fungus gnats coming back. So I just went at them with the mosquito bits, guys. That was sitting in some water that we made our Recharge mix, which we usually put about a half a gallon per plant in here. I don't like any runoff when I put the Recharge in. I want that to all stay in the soil or medium. And we applied these fresh sticky traps. So just trying to keep these buggers under control without having to take any drastic measures. We're definitely not going to spray anything late in flower. So it's a constant battle, but we're winning. All right, let's go back up and check out this peanut butter pie from Raw Genetics. Stacking, guys. Stacking, lovely. Super healthy. She's loving the feedings. You can see there's a little bit of tip burn right there. So we gave her the Recharge today. All 5 plants in here got the Recharge today. And not tomorrow, but the next day, we'll come in and we'll give her another full feeding. And she should be able to handle it, no problem. That Recharge also kind of makes parking spots in your soil for nutrients. So it helps with uptake. It helps with removing heavy metals. It's a wonderful product. Okay, let's skip over to the 3x3. I'll pop back a little bit and take one last look at this canopy from the front. Very nice, guys. Not the most even. You can see that peanut butter pie. She just wants to keep stretching and stretching. Probably about 12 inches from the top. Right now is day 29 of flower. She better be done stretching. So yeah, 12 inches, and the leaves look fine. There's no tacoing or canoeing. She's just saying, give me more, give me more. All right, let's move over to the 3x3 and check out that solo Lime 1 Hindu. All right, guys, this plant's looking beautiful. This is in a 3x3 tent with one AC Infinity fan up high, a little office fan right there, a little cheapie I got from Home Depot, and we are underneath the Spider Farmer SF Spider Farmer G3000. So it's a 300 watt light that we have at 100%. And she's been set about 16 to 17 inches from the top of the canopy here to the light. And we're getting the most out of the PPFD for this light. And what a difference. What a difference. In the past, I think I had said we kept this light up a little bit like we do with our quantum board, and we weren't getting near the results. So you can grow a solid plant or 2 in here, or even 3, with a decent light. This light is probably slightly underpowered. If you want to fill up this 3x3 tent, I would suggest putting a 4800 in here, maybe a 500 watt light. But this little 300-watt light is pumping, and for this plant in here alone, it's plenty of power, guys. All right, I want to talk a little bit about what we're feeding. We have been feeding general hydroponics, and we're still using our recharge to help every once in a while with nutrient uptake. However, we've been seeing amazing results, guys. And then this is the dance we do. We go back and forth from organics, you know, dry nutrients, usually Gaia Green or down to earth, to one or two synthetic products I like. I was using the can of A and B for a while, but the Boost was so expensive. I like to buy the big bottles of it, try to save money, and it was just way too much money. So I switched back to the general hydroponics, the 1 part nutrient, when we were doing that bubble bucket, and the plants and soil just seem to love it. So we're just rocking that out this time, guys. But I'm sure we'll be back to the dry newts. It's just all preference. But I've been having a lot of success this round. I mean, these plants are super healthy up here. And we're gonna go downstairs and show you the other plants tonight, which don't look that great. We had a lot of deficiencies, and we're going to talk about how that came about and what we're doing to combat that. But this plant right here is absolutely beautiful. Day 28, she's 1 day behind the 5x5. We had the bubble bucket in here. I was a little unclear in the last video, guys. We did end up whiffing that cookies and cream. I just didn't trust it, man. I've been burned by freebies before. This is a very stable line, and I trust the breeder who's growing it. And I also trust raw genetics to do the work and testing. That freebie plant, I did not test it one bit. So we did 86, the hydro bucket. There was nothing wrong with how it was performing. It was just the genetics I didn't trust. So no more cookie crosses for a while for us in here. I'm sure this plant probably has cookies somewhere down the line, who knows. But I intentionally tried something from this company because I believe in this dude, Mean Gene. He's awesome on podcasts. Check him out sometime. He co-hosts the podcast with Heavy Days. He's a breeder's breeder, and he's highly respected in the community. And I couldn't wait to grow out some of his genetics, and this is my first round, this Lime 1 Hindu. We also have some Chem 91, guys, Chem 91 Hindu mix that we got seeds for that I'm so grateful for. So that's going to be coming up probably late winter sometime. We'll pop those seeds. We have something else on deck before that. So looking forward to growing more of this breeder's genetics out. This Lime 1 Hindu, it looks nice and stable and beautiful, and can't wait to see what she starts looking on as it moves on into the grow a little bit more. We're only at day 28 now. All right, so super healthy looking plants, guys, but that's the dance going back and forth from organics to synthetics. I'm so happy with this round, and I haven't had any problems. The one thing that is kind of tough when feeding synthetics is keeping your trays clean, especially if you're using a trellis. This has been a real pain in the butt, and I'm gonna have to pick up a little shop vac or just clean up my shop vac really well. I've only used it once or twice, so I know it's clean. But cleaning those trays out, because we want runoff when we're using synthetics. I like to have, you know, at least a little bit of runoff in the bottom of those trays. And I don't like to just leave it there, because you can see what happens. We start getting the fungus gnats moving in again. So it's a battle, but I think you need a shop vac if you're gonna grow this style. Next time we grow, I'm not going to use a trellis. So we're constantly changing, doing different styles. I think we'll whip this trellis and just use the old tomato cages or something like that, so we can have the freedom of moving the plants around. All right, one last look at this. We're gonna go downstairs and talk a little bit about those deficiencies we've had in the space monkeys that we grew out. And I also have that GMO mix from Irie Genetics. It is Dark Hollow is the name of the plant. It's a rise crossed with GMO. And I have 3 of those babies downstairs. One of them looks beautiful, and the other 2 are overwatered and we're in bad environments. So we'll talk all about that. Let's go check it out, guys. Okay guys, we're downstairs in the AC Infinity 4x8 tent looking at this beautiful Space Monkey from Bodie. That's a Gorilla Glue 4 crossed with Wookiee, and she's at day 5 of flower. And I chose her to start off this clip with because she is definitely the most healthy looking plant in this tent right now. We had a little problem with chlorosis, guys. The breaking down of chlorophyll. So we had to go to our notebook and to our videos and study back up, brush up on our growing skills a little bit, and figure out what was going on in this tent. This is another Space Monkey, different pheno, obviously. Look how tall she is in comparison to this little bush. But she was bright yellow last night, guys, at about 7 o'clock at night. And I had to go up and do a little homework and figure out what's going on because it wasn't going to be fixed with this, like most growers go. And we were having an issue with this. That's our pH problem. So we tested our water with these drops. I always keep these on hand, guys. That's cheap. That's like a $10 bottle, not even. You can get that for. With a little test tube, you fill your water up halfway, 5 drops of this stuff, and then you mix it up a little bit, and it's got different shades. If you've ever done pool water or anything like that, it's very similar, and you find the right shade, and it's usually pretty accurate within a half of, you know, a number like 6.5 to 6.8 or 6.9 or something. It's usually pretty accurate. So those things saved me. That pH pen, even though I calibrated it, I've had it for about 2.5, 3 years now, and she's starting to fail me. So maybe another battery or something like that, but the drop saved me. We figured out what our pH was at, and we fixed that. However, that was not the main issue, guys. We did that. We figured out what we were feeding. We know that we overwatered a couple of these plants. I killed one of those Space Monkeys by giving it a cold water shock, and it just couldn't take up any water in this poor environment that I had it set on. And I'm going to explain that right now. After doing a little bit of homework, we figured out that it was our air exchange. So I took out the little 4-inch fan that I had in this tent, which is ridiculous. I know it's not enough, and that's obvious, but it was working just fine when we were using this tent as a veg tent. But when we flipped a flower, different needs for the environment. So I put this 8-inch AC Infinity fan in, and within 24 hours, this plant, I didn't water it or anything like that. It's just the air exchange. And I did turn down the humidity. We took our BPD from about 1.4 to 1.8 today, and the plants responded well to that as well. And the green is happening quick, guys. This plant was completely yellow. I thought I had a sulfur issue at one point, but it turns out it was just air exchange. So thank goodness we diagnosed it. We figured it out. The light has been turned up to 100%. That was in an effort to try to fix the plants as I was trying to figure out what was wrong with them. So I did that first, and all these plants seem to be handling it. Now I have a new cross in here. This is that GMO mix I was talking about. This is Dark Hollow from Irie Genetics, and she is a GMO Arise cross. And we hunted down the females for these girls as well. This girl's doing great in a 7-gallon container with Fox Farm, Happy Frog, leftover soil, and a cocoa mix. And these other 2 Dark Hollows are kind of hurting right now. They're still on the comeback trail because we watered these girls just like we would have if the environment was good. And the plants simply just weren't uptaking water, guys, because of the environment, because of the poor air exchange. So when we transplanted them, we just transplanted them like they were still in 1-gallon pots. Putting them into those 5-gallon pots, we just gave them a little bit of water, you know, watered them as if they were still in the 1 gallons. And then when that dried up, I gave them a full feeding. But the air exchange was too poor and they were not uptaking. And that's why they're kind of hurting right now. So they're a little soggy, But as I said, the VPD is up to 1.8, so the RH is at about 41%, and the heat is between 78 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're still rocking this little fan over here, this Lasco fan. But the air exchange made all the difference. So there's another little tip for you. That's something that anybody could do. You can make a mistake. Easy, guys. Something simple that you think might not matter. And I completely overlooked that. And I take complete blame for it, but we fixed it. And the plants are responding well. So look forward to watching this dark hollow. If you love GMO like I do, you'll be pumped. This is an 11-week plant, guys. So she'll be around for a while. And it looks like these other girls are healing up. Even as we're talking, they're looking way better than they were like an hour ago. So I am confident that's Coco. It's gonna dry up quick. We're feeding these girls the advanced nutrients. The girls upstairs have been getting the general hydroponics, and we're gonna run it out that way. And then next run, we'll do something hydroponically, and we'll do something organically. We'll start using our Gaia Green again. But so far, I'm very happy with this run, guys. It's good to get back to the Synganics. It's like instant gratification. All right, one last look at the girls. There's that quickly healing space monkey. I don't know, she's leaning towards one side, either the Wookiee or the Gorilla Glue 4. I've never successfully grown Gorilla Glue 4 out, guys. I grew an autoflower one time, but it hermed. And when I first started growing, I tried maybe 2 or 3 times and never had any luck. So it's something I want in my library. That plant's looking beautiful. We're just gonna keep an eye on the environment and letting them dry back nicely. Giving them the recharge, the once a week treat, and we'll keep that up until about week 6. And we've got these girls backed up. We did that hard work of finding the femmes and the regs out of the reg seed, so these are definitely backed up, guys. And I think this one in the 7-gallon is gonna really kick butt. All right, Merry Christmas, everybody. Love to the growers.